Spider-Man No Way Home is directed by John Watts, written by Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers, based on the best-selling comic books and characters by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. This is the 27th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the third and final film of the Home trilogy. The runtime is 2 hours and 28 minutes and is rated PG-13 for sequences of action/violence, some language, and brief suggestive comments. This film is also available in 3D. It was shot in 2D and converted to 3D during post-production. I have watched this film in 3D and I will be sharing my thoughts on the 3D later in this review. Please do note that this review is here a month after the theatrical release. Therefore, this video will have spoilers. The film starts right off where Far From Home ended. Mysterio reveals to the whole world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Peter's life turns upside down and everyone close to him is affected by this. So he turns to Doctor Strange and asks him to undo Mysterio's actions and make sure no one else knows who Spider-Man is. So Strange attempts to cast a spell in order to accomplish this, but the spell goes wrong and this opens up the multiverse. What happens next is what you'll find out when you go to the cinemas and watch this film. As a huge Spider-Man fan from my childhood, I really enjoyed this film. It exceeds all expectations and this is one of the best live-action Spider-Man films ever made. The hype for this film has been exceptional, with fans' expectations at the highest peak possible. Also, the film has made over $1 billion worldwide. It's at $1.6 billion now, and is the first film during the pandemic to accomplish this, which is incredible. It's a roller coaster of a film. It will make you shout, cry, bring out the inner child in you, put you at the edge of your seat, and will shock you at times. This film is a culmination of almost 20 years of Spider-Man in various films, and it celebrates that in a grand manner. Director John Watts has been instrumental with the direction of the MCU Spider-Man films such as Homecoming and Far From Home, and he delivers yet another fabulous one with some fantastic visuals and performances by the cast. Now he'll be doing the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot in the MCU, so I really think he's gonna do a fantastic job with it. See what I did there? Talking about the performances, Tom Holland slays it as Peter Parker aka Spider-Man. His character goes through some really tough stuff and he conveys every emotion effortlessly. It is in this film that he actually becomes a Spider-Man that we all know and love, and more independent. We've seen in the previous films that he was under the mentorship of Tony Stark aka Iron Man, and he would use Stark's technologies and whatnot. Well, it's going in a whole new direction, and that's something to look forward to in the future. Benedict Cumberbatch returns as Doctor Strange, Zendaya and Jacob Batalon return as Peter's close friends MJ and Ned respectively, along with Marissa Tomei as Aunt May and Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. The return of popular villains from previous Spider-Man films such as Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx as Electro, and more such as Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman and Rhys Ifans as the Lizard are a joy to experience. And the big reveal, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are back as Peter Parker aka Spider-Man from their respective universes. And my goodness me, they make such a great impact and make it more memorable. This film is filled with a lot of fan service and nostalgia, and they are written into the story really well, and it's a major reason why this film is such a grand celebration throughout. Now there is one flaw that I felt, and that was the use of humor, which is pretty typical in MCU films and TV series. Here in this film, the humor is sometimes a swing and a miss. Sure, there are some good humorous moments, but there are some that just don't work and feel forced. For example, Scooby-Doo this crap! Does that sound funny to you? The music was done by Michael Giacchino, who also scored the previous MCU Spider-Man films and the upcoming Batman film, and it was great to hear. It really helped elevate the scenes on screen. I really loved how well the music of the old Spider-Man films were incorporated in this film as well. Obviously, films like this require extensive visual effects and they look spectacular as usual. Alright, let's talk about the 3D. The 3D conversion is done by Stereo D. Now, before I continue, I gotta say from listening to others' experiences, this conversion is a polarizing one. Some people have said the 3D is mostly mild, while some say it's great. For me, I think the 3D experience varies based on where you're sitting in the cinema hall watching this, and also the 3D projection in your theater. So there are chances that you won't get a satisfying 3D experience like I did. With that being said, this film has great depth throughout and some scenes are meant to be watched in 3D alone, especially the action sequences and when Spider-Man swings through the city, where 3D is utilized very well. The battle sequences between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and the final battle are outstanding in 3D. Also sequences involving Doc Ock's tentacles, Green Goblin's weapons, Electro's electric beams, rain and snowflakes in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and so many other elements make the 3D experience more immersive. However, the film does have a few number of scenes that take place in dark atmospheres with very minimal light, and it can look more darker with the 3D glasses on, making it harder to see. This could be an issue with the 3D projection in the theatre I went to watch this in. However, this issue doesn't linger on for long and it gets exciting very quickly. Also, there's this meme going around comparing the brightness of the 2D and 3D versions, and that's not true. In reality, the 3D version actually has the same brightness of the 2D version, even when you put on the 3D glasses. If you're facing an issue like that, then the problem is not the 3D, it's the projection in the theatre. I do think the 3D can look better when watched at home. There are many instances where the 3D experience at home is far better than at the cinemas. So with that being said, it would be great if Sony can release Spider-Man No Way Home on 3D Blu-ray, along with Venom Let There Be Carnage, which did not get a 3D Blu-ray release anywhere so far. Although there's a chance that Venom Let There Be Carnage will get a 3D Blu-ray release in Japan, so fingers crossed. So the question arises, should you spend the extra money for the 3D experience? To that, I can proudly say the answer is yes. Overall, this was an electrifying experience at the cinemas and it really bodes well for the future of theatrical releases. Also, this is something that I'll proudly get on 3D Blu-ray. So, you know what to do, Sony. Just put it out on 3D Blu-ray. It's that simple. What do you guys think of Spider-Man No Way Home? Do let me know in the comments below and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and have a great day. Goodbye.